What is going on, everyone? It is Tyler McKinney back here again. And today we're going to get into some MLFB, and we're also going to look at the NFL free agency and what I think it has to do with spring league and why I think it's been a good thing for spring football. So the MLFB, as we have been getting it, we got another weekly update, and it looks like this is kind of their trend, telling you what they're going to release in the week and then releasing it. First and foremost, they want everyone to know that they have heard them, that they've been heard, and all of their reactions, whether they good or bad, that the MLFB has been paying attention, and they know that we want more, but we just need to be patient, and they are sticking to their guns, that their patience is strength, and that's what they're going to do. However, you won't have to wait for too much longer, because on Tuesday, March 22nd, we're going to get the second head coach released, and this is a guy who supposedly has big league ties, who has been in the big leagues, who has new league ties, who has been in new leagues, and really likes to develop players and want to see them grow as players. And he's a perfect fit. Who is he? We don't know. We'll find out tomorrow and discuss that later. The other thing that we found out was that we're going to be getting some tidbits here and there. So they've been working with Red Moon Marketing. So if you like their new website, and I think that it's pretty sleek, pretty clean, pretty good, it's been put together by Red Moon Marketing. So Red Moon, a good job. And they're going to be working, I think, the way that it looks like, maybe with them to coincide their social media platforms over the next 10 days so that everything says the same thing and it's congruent. That's one of the things that has been frustrating is you'll get information here, you'll get information there. You got to look at 4 different places to really find anything for this league. And so I think it'll be nice to everything say the same thing all at once. So they're going to be doing that over the next 10 days. And then next Monday. So next Monday, all of you who have been wanting to get league merch, that will be available, or how you can get it will be available and brought to you next Monday. They will be releasing that information. So that looks like those are the big things to hit over the next week or so. We'll see how other things transpire with it, but that's what we have. Now let's turn our attention towards the NFL free agency. And I really want to spend some time here and kind of sit in this space for a bit and talk about it, because I really do feel like the trend that's going on here in the NFL is not missed on the spring league. And I think that I keep saying the spring leagues. I'm talking about the USFL. I'm talking about the XFL, the MLFB, and whoever else decides that they want to start up another league. I think that this really, really bodes well, the trend that's happening here. And I think it really all starts with the Super Bowl champs, the Los Angeles Rams, the LA Rams, and what they've done. They brought in Matthew Stafford. They brought in a guy really who you feel bad for when he was with Detroit. I mean, the guy did everything he could for Detroit, and Detroit really did not build around him. They had a really good caliber quarterback, and it showed the way that he played with the Rams and the way that he took the Rams this year. And I think that teams are seeing that as a blueprint to win. I mean, it was that Tom Brady was, an outlier. I think that you're starting to see that, the quarterbacks playing more years is good, becoming more of the norm, and that's what these teams are looking to see. They're looking to find that guy who is a proven commodity, and, give him the reins to the team. And why am I saying that? You look at Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan was brought into the Colts, and, they're looking at him being the guy for the next 2-3 years to, get them over the hump, get them to the promised land, get them back to the Super Bowl, back, to those championship winning ways. Matthew Stafford just signed a 4-year deal. So you got Matt Ryan, who's 36. You've got Matthew Stafford, who's 34. And, who just signed a 4-year contract. You got Matt Ryan at 36 with a 2 years left on his contract. We'll see if he does anything, if they do a contract deal. A lot of times that happens after a trade happens. We'll see what he does there. Russell Wilson, who just got traded to Denver to be the face of the franchise. And again, to get this team, to the championship, to get them there and to do that. And they gave up a heck of a lot for this guy who is 33 years old, and looking to make him the face of their franchise. And then you got Aaron Rodgers, who signed a 3-year extension with Green Bay this past year. And remember, they have Love, who's been sitting on the bench waiting for his turn. And that's really the thing here, because you're going to start to see these younger quarterbacks who could quite possibly be starting in a lot of different places, because these older quarterbacks are extending their contracts, extending their careers. And it used to be, these ages that these guys are at, they're not getting these 3-year, 4-year deals. In the past, they're getting a 1-2 year deal extension, and you're starting to see these guys playing later on, and that really is a testament to the game and how they've changed the game, and it's not as violent as what it used to be. Sometimes I really struggle with that, because I feel like, sometimes a guy makes a good hit and he gets penalized for it because it's just too good of a hit. But it is extending a lot of these guys' careers, and they can play a lot longer. So I think it's a good thing. And I think that that's a good thing overall, because I think you're going to start to see, if these leagues can hang on, you're going to start to see these guys, bring up the Baker Mayfields, or, the Love, or, you name it, these young guys who have been picked, who aren't necessarily ready to see prime time and haven't gotten their shot yet, behind, the big time quarterback, when their contracts are coming up. Remember, Baker Mayfield's he's got the 1 year left this year, and then he's a free agent. And, if some of these leagues could start to entice some of these guys, some of these, maybe not necessarily the elite class, but these guys that would be starters, but for some reason are behind all-stars, or all-time greats. And you could see some of this. Now, I'm not saying that that's going to happen in the next 2 years or 3 years, but 3-4 years down the road, you could start to see that, to where these guys who are wanting to play and not sit the bench might sign some contracts with these leagues. Now, these leagues are going to have to start to pay a whole heck of a lot more. I know that. I mean, to get a guy like Baker Mayfield, they're going to have to really spend the money to do it. But if this becomes lucrative for them, I think you really could see that. And listen, guys, if you can have that many professional soccer teams across the world and leagues across the world, and people watch them, people pay to go see them, and people making millions in a bunch of different ones, I don't see why there isn't any reason why, right now you got 32 teams in the NFL. I don't see why in the United States we could have, 8 teams in the XFL, 8 teams in the USFL. Right there, that's only 16 teams there. That's not even, when you add them both together, that's not even 50 teams total between the 3 leagues if they survive. That's not a lot of teams. And really, in the scheme of things, can you find 50 good quarterbacks? Can you find 100 good quarterbacks? I'm saying yes, you can. With these extended careers in these leagues, I think that you're going to see that more, and I think that that's going to transpire more. I think that you're going to see, where Tom Brady at 44 coming back out of retirement wanting to still play. Listen, you're not getting hit as much, therefore your body's not taking the wear and tear as it used to. So guys, not only are they extending their careers out, but also they're not taking the abuse that guys did in the past all of those years. So if you're taking less hits over a longer, extended period of time, it's also going to, extend it that much more. So I think you're going to see more guys, extending playing into their late 30s and into their 40s with that. I mean, I could easily see Aaron Rodgers pulling Tom Brady and still at 44 playing football. I see that becoming the norm, where guys are going to extend their career another 5 to 10 years. And if that's the case, what does that do? Well, it's just like, the markets that we've had. People who were expected to retire but didn't retire, those jobs were supposed to go to these youngsters, and these youngsters didn't get the jobs, and they had to figure out other ways. These millennials had to figure out other ways to live and survive. And I think that that's what's going to happen. And there's already an appetite for more football. So where does that translate? Especially if you want to get on the field, that translates to these alternative leagues. And like I've said before, I think there is plenty to go around. I don't think that it is something that is too much. I don't think that there's too much of it. I seriously think that you could easily have the XFL at 16 teams, the USFL at 16 teams, the NFL be what it is, and I think that you would be fine and have talent all over the place and be able to get good football. I truly believe that. I truly think that that is something that we could have. And I think that especially if you're getting in on a week in, week out, you're getting a constantly good viewership and something that they can rely on and see that that's there, and you can start paying these guys, comparable wages. I think that'll be huge. This is just, like I said, just the start of things. And if this can become something that can be lucrative for Fox, for, Danny, The Rock, Redbird, I think that this thing will explode. And I think that over, 3 and 4 years, you're going to start to see guys getting, making, 1, 2, 3 million, maybe even upwards around $5 million a year in the XFL or in the USFL. That's just my thoughts. And I think that the craving's there. I think people are craving football. They're wanting football. We'll just have to wait and see what it happens. But like I said, reading the tea leaves and where things are going, I think that this is a good thing. This offseason has shown us that it's a good thing for us who like these alternative leagues and want to see them flourish. I think it's a good thing for us. As always, I want to know your thoughts down in the comment section. Let me know what you think, and we'll continue the conversation on down there. All right, guys, listen, I know that you're busy, and I know that I'm busy, so let's get on out of here. You have a good night. Bye.